Hello, I'm Cliff Hall from Cortekx with another snack video. In this edition, we'll go through a walkthrough or an overview of the project screen in Acumatica 2018 R1. As you can see, there's a lot of information on the project screen and it's divided into several segments which we'll cover one by one. The top portion is the header, where we can see the project ID, whether there's a customer or not, a template may have been used to create this project, and the status, whether it's active or completed, suspended, or canceled. In addition to that, there's an Actions button. The Actions button allows you to approve or reject the project, lock or unlock the budget, create a template, and change the ID if desired. From the Reports menu, we can also print this report to see the status of the report at the moment. Note that the project ID field can be segmented. The segment might be something like a location, an industry, or perhaps a cost center pertaining to that project. Next, we'll take a look at the numerous tabs spaced horizontally across the screen. The first one is the Summary tab. The upper left-hand corner of the Summary tab includes project properties, things like who the project manager is and whether we can restrict employees or equipment. The billing and allocation setting shows that our billing period in this case is on demand, but we have several options there. Down below under Terms can be the terms for the invoices having to do with this particular project. Each project has the ability to allocate expenses and also a rule for creating the invoices pertaining to that project. For instance, for allocation rules, we could choose a cost plus type of project, a fixed project, or a time and material type project. The billing room was very similar. We can see that there is also a fixed price here, progress billing, standard, and time and material as well. This tells the system how to allocate invoices for certain periods of time or certain milestones completed on the project. If we choose to add a customer for the project, all that information is stored on the right-hand side, and below that is the visibility settings. This indicates which module inside of Acumatica has access to charging the project in that particular module. Next, let's take a look at the Tasks tab. The Tasks tab shows all the tasks that pertain to this particular project. On this project, there are two tasks, both of them active, but let's say we wanted to add another task. Acumatica allows you to add common tasks. Tasks that are used very often on almost all of your projects. By clicking the one button here and choosing Add Common Tasks, we are able to add the tasks to the screen. One of the other nice capabilities that Acumatica has is the ability to activate tasks or complete tasks in one swoop. Right now we have active, and in planning. By completing the tasks, I've completed the ones that were active, leaving the in planning still available. For the other task, the one we just added, still in planning, and let's say we want to activate that. By clicking the Activate Task button, that particular task is now active and ready to be charged against and receive revenue. There are two tabs pertaining to budget for the project. First, the revenue budget, and secondly, the cost budget. This gives you the ability for each task line to see the original budgeted quantity and amount, the revised budgeted quantity and amount, and the actual quantities and amounts pertaining to this particular task. As you can see, the cost budget screen or tab is very similar to the revenue budget tab. We have budgets for expense on every task line item, but notice that we can have more than one line for a particular task. In this case, we have travel, labor account groups for task 2. We can choose to group these together by clicking on Group by Task, or we can leave them in the detailed form as you see here. The rest of the columns are the same as you found on the revenue budget tab. Once we've applied the budgets and had some charges to the project, we can then take a look at what the balances are for that project with the Balances tab. The Balances tab shows us the original and revised budgeted amounts and also the actual amount, and then indicates what the performance level is here. Since we budgeted $10,000 and the actual amount was $10,000 on our revenue line, the performance is 100%. However, for labor down below in expense, we've budgeted $3,500, but we've only charged $2,880, leaving us with a performance percentage of 82.29. When you look at the totals for each of these groups, you'll see 10,000 here and 4,005 here, and you'll see the same thing up here under Income and Expense in the top right section of the budget header screen. There are several other tabs which provide important information related to the project. For instance, the Invoicing tab will show us any invoices that have been applied to this particular project. Note that we have 1,000 and 9,000 of these combined, giving us the $10,000 number that shows up here. By clicking on the reference to that particular line, we can see the invoice that created the amount you see on the project. On the Change Order tab, we take a look at any change orders that have been applied to this particular project. In this case, there aren't any to show. The Activity History tab shows us all of the transactions and notes and tasks that have been associated with this project. Notice that this line, one task here, reviewing for project for completeness and quality, is highlighted, and when that project task is highlighted, you'll see down below the information pertaining to that particular line. If you click another line, you'll see that there's nothing there. That's because nothing was written for that particular consultant work that you see here. By clicking on each one of these, we can take a look at the actual task itself, and if we want to, we can go ahead and complete it as well right from here. The next two tabs are also important, showing the employees that are specifically assigned to this project, as well as the equipment also assigned to this particular project. Every project can have attributes associated with it. In this case, we've chosen to put in attributes for expense markup percentage, project burden percentage, and so on and so forth. The attribute itself will show up for every project, but the value may vary depending on the project and the information pertaining to that project. And lastly, we can also run project billing right from the project itself, or we can run it in bulk. By clicking the Run Project Billing, we can get to the actual billing being created in the background depending on how this project is set up to bill under the billing rule. Thank you for watching another Cortekx Snack video. Subscribe below and find out more about how we can help you enhance productivity and increase your profits.
Too many systems that can't get along? Time to change to Acumatica. One system, one solution. Find out more at Cortekx.com.